Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Once again, just want to educate about how rigged and scripted the NFL is and the power of this knowledge, Gematria, how it can expose how rigged the stock market is, the pro sports game, the election, the news. Again, this is the knowledge of the cabal that controls all these things. And Gematria comes from Kabbalah. And again, you look into the history of Kabbalah coming to Europe. It came through the Templars after the Crusades up through the Catholic Church. And of course, here we are in this world where we're now on the calendar given to us by the Catholic Church, named after the Pope. Thus, the 52-week calendar, when in Gematria, Pope equals 52, like the 52 cards in the deck. But year in and year out, we're just always showing how these huge rituals in sports are connected to Pope Francis. And every week on Thursday, we call the NFL 35 Thursday. The 35 narratives are absolutely smashing for the Raiders tonight. Raiders are on their way to their 35th home win all time over the Chargers. We thought number 35, Zamir White, would score the first touchdown of the game tonight. We're going to talk about just how scripted it was. Sure enough, he did with the huge odds. We thought Jacoby Myers would catch a touchdown 35 days after his birthday. He did it right after Zamir White scored the first touchdown. And again, I want people to understand it's the rigging is deep. We're going to look at this Zamir White, who they call Zeus. Again, it's a Thursday. Thursday's named after Jupiter. Jupiter's Zeus in astrology. Zeus is the lightning bolt god. Zamir White scoring his first career touchdown on 35 Thursday, wearing number 35 over the lightning bolt team. But also we're going to get to why it matters that his first career touchdown comes 87 days after his birthday, in the week where the Pope will turn 87 years old on Sunday. A very special number to the church and the history of the Jesuits, going with Pope Francis being the first Jesuit Pope, and that age-old phrase about all roads leading to Rome when the Jesuits served the Pope in the Roman Catholic Church. But Raiders, they've had some nice rituals for us in primetime this year, including on Columbus Day, where they beat the team named after the Indian Packing Company. Just think about it. Raiders over the Indian Packing Company. That's the Packers. On Columbus Day. Here, we're going to go through all of this, but I want you to see that the Raiders took a 35-0 lead with 3:50 on the clock. And we've seen rituals like this a million times. I mean, just how perfectly scripted it is. So right here, as you can see, the down was 3rd and 3 at the Los Angeles Charger 26, and Bolden, who came over from the Patriots, scores on the 26-yard touchdown, and they stop the clock right at 3:50. Again, if you're new here, we call Thursday 35 Thursday because in Gematria, Thursday equals 35, and it goes beyond that too. We'll get to just how important 35 is to football. It's not arbitrary that the first ever Super Bowl was won with 35 points by the Packers, but Gematria, based on the alphabetic order forwards and backwards with numerology. I want you to see this thing they just did in the game. While the Raiders were up 35-0 with 46 seconds left, they paused the game at this. They were sure to stop the clock with 46 seconds. Notice how when you run an interverse, Thursday's 46. They're just showing the already deflated Chargers fans, and you can imagine the Chargers, or did I say fans? The Chargers players, but you can just imagine the way the Chargers fan base feels, right? Don't forget, just a few weeks ago, they had the Chargers fall to 4-7 versus the Ravens, who won Super Bowl 47, the Blackout Bowl, in light of Obama's film over the weekend. You might recall Super Bowl 47 was when he was president, the man who took office at age 47. You might call it the Harbaugh Bowl. Ravens beat the 49ers. There was a blackout that lasted, depending on what report you read, 33 minutes or 34 minutes. But yeah, the Ravens won that. This year, the Chargers fell to 4-7 versus the Ravens. Anyhow, the point I really want to make here is about Zamir White, who scored the first touchdown tonight. Zamir White, we thought he had a very, very, very high chance to score the first touchdown, which is big odds in a football game, and this is where the Gematria knowledge really pays off. We understand how potent 35 is, right? So let me pull up this guy on Football Ref, or here, I'll just show you, these are the notes you get on Patreon if you're a Patreon member. We went over this as a video. Comically, the over-under crept up to 35.5 points at game time for 35 Thursday. It started out at 33. But again, big stat that we love tonight. Raiders could get the 35th home win in the series. We're always looking for the key 35 stat. So right here, in just the player prop section, Josh Jacobs, the normal running backs out. Zamir White, number 35, is in tonight on 35 Thursday. And then we just started to look at this guy, and we're just mind blown. Now, when we saw that his Twitter name was Zeus, I said, you got to be kidding me. Not only does he have the 35, but he's Zeus. When again, Thursday's Jupiter, Zeus. Zeus is the lightning god. But then we notice he's the 122nd pick, and this game today is 87 days after his birthday. Look, Pope Francis, Mr. 122, turns 87 Sunday. And if you're new here, Pope Francis in the most simple cipher, 122. Pope Francis with the alphabetic order of numerology, 59. Remember, Benedict stepped down on the 59th day of 2013 to make way for Francis. Pope Francis 175. You might recall when we saw in December the other year why the Warriors would beat the Celtics in the NBA Finals on Pope Francis' birthday and why the Celtics would fall to 17-5 as they did. And then the Pope Francis in 58. That connects with how, in that same cipher, Kobe Bryant is 58. Of course, Kobe Bryant's 41 forwards. Kobe died at age 41 on the Pope's 41st day of his age while traveling from Catholic Mass. Kobe Bryant's also 157, like he died on the 157th day of his age. So anyhow, look at this Zamir White, because today's game, and I had it in the screenshot, but let me just pull up Football Reference so you can see that that's not some old screenshot or something, but that is today's information. Zamir White, who we love to score the first touchdown tonight, 87 days after his birthday, 122nd pick. Again, Pope Francis with the most simple cipher, 122. And it's interesting because like San Francisco's 122 and it's on the 122nd meridian, and Pope Francis is named after St. Francis of Assisi, just like San Francisco is. And the word Satanic's 122, and the Satanic Church was founded there. But also the Jesuit motto, Isus Hominum Salvator, is 122. It's also 266, like Pope Francis is the 266th Pope in the history of the Church. It's also 85, like National Football League and basketball, and the first March Madness being in the 85 season when basketball is 85, and it was the Catholic school Villanova over the Jesuit school Georgetown. And then, of course, the 274, like how the Catholic Church has celebrated the sun's birthday in the sky since 274 AD on 1225, which has a square root of 35. Remember, Thursday's 35. Thursday represents Jupiter. The Catholic Church venerates Jupiter. Catholics also 35, like Holy See, like Jesuitism. In septenary and Chaldean gematria, football and Super Bowl are 35. But Thursday's 35. Notice how the word eye is 35, and think about the shape of the football. It is the eye. Think about how the Catholic Church's territory is known as the Holy See, the all-seeing eye. They got the whole world watching footballs. You know what I mean? Not paying attention to the way they're getting abused, used and abused, from warfare to taxation to nonstop propaganda to everything else. The ball game, distracting everybody. You know? And again, whose calendar are we on? Whose time are we on? On the Catholic Church's time. So 87. When we saw everything about Zamir White tonight, 35, Mr. 35, coming in 87 days after his birthday. Look at his birth name, you guys. Zamir Alexa, with a wild spelling, Alex Z-A, Zamir Alexa White. Look at his name gematria. 87. He's getting his first start 87 days after his birthday in the week where the Pope's going to turn 87. And then look at this other gematria, 201 and 231. Look how Ignatius of Loyola, the founder of the Jesuits, is 201 and 231 and also 87. And again, the Jesuit suppression ended in history August 7th in the time of the only 201 president, James Madison. But again, 201, 231, like Ignatius of Loyola, the founder of the Jesuits. Ignatius of Loyola died 84 days from his birthday. See how his name's also 84? Pope Francis, the first Jesuit pope, the first to live in Suite 201 at the Vatican, born on 84 date numerology. And, of course, the Pope's name is Jorge Mario Bergoglio, which is also 201. So we just said, this is too good. I mean, he's got the 35, he's got the Zeus, He's got the 87 days after his birthday. He's got the 87 name gematria. This is the NFL week where the Pope turns 87. We know who's running this whole show. It just makes way too much sense for him to score the first game in 35 Thursday. And again, we've had a lot of nice calls like this over the years, but the only time I had this much confidence in the first touchdown of the game, we just did it the other week too, but I didn't have as much confidence as tonight. The only other time we had this much confidence was with Odell Beckham. You see how 3 is 56, like what Odell wears now? And Odell Beckham Jr.'s 56. We thought Odell would score the first touchdown of Super Bowl 56, being the guy who went from Cleveland to LA like the Rams on his birthday, November 5th, the day leaving 56 days left in the year. And we thought that would also be a 3-point Super Bowl, which meant the Bengals would cover because they were 3.5-point dogs, and they did. They lost by 3. It's kind of like the ritual with the premiere of that Obama movie 3 days before Julia Roberts' 56th birthday, when he was the winner of the 56th presidential election, and it's all about a power outage. Speaking of Chargers. And you know what's crazy? Matthew Perry died on Julia Roberts' birthday, and go back and look. Matthew Perry and Obama put out an image together on February 11th, 2020, 3 years to the day of the upcoming Super Bowl, and that first episode of Friends with Julia Roberts and Matthew Perry. It's called The One After the Super Bowl. Again, you guys, all this stuff is being scripted and planned and executed, and I'm telling you, it's this Jesuit cabal doing it all, and it's so obvious. Who else could possibly have done this? We're on their calendar, speaking their language. All roads leading to Rome. But yeah, we love Zamir White for the first touchdown. And then Zamir White also got the second touchdown. Or hold on. I was like, he did? I don't remember that. I just remember the first one. Hold on. No. The second touchdown of the game was who we also like, 35 days from his birthday. Or was it why is this so goofy? 7-0. Where's the 14? Is this like screwed up? Something's wrong with this. Let me just go to the box score. I don't know why that thing's being so goofy, but here we go. Jacoby Myers. Let me pull him up. You'll see it's 35 days after his birthday. Things we look for each week, and we just went on year after year. Jacoby Myers, 27 years old, today 35 days after his birthday. Number 87, who got the touchdown tonight. We knew he had a chance. It wasn't as good as the 35 stuff, but we're like, oh, that 87, man. Pope's turned in 87. Next thing you know, number 87's in there. And I don't remember if I said anything about Tucker tonight. This Tucker guy's got 2 touchdowns. I might have overlooked. So he's got 2 touchdowns tonight. I didn't have big notes for Mr. Tucker, but 281 days after his birthday, 60th prime. There must be something more to it. So the Raiders are up 49-0 now. Woo! But yeah, here, StatMuse. Raiders all-time home record versus Chargers. So the game's not over yet, but it's pretty much over. See, the Raiders' next home win will be 35. And again, I got some goofy callers in just all year we went on 35. I got the same people calling in every week going against 35 Thursday. It's like, what's going on with these callers? How can you guys possibly be calling my show going against all the 35s? How can you call in just be like, oh, I don't know what to do tonight? It's like, dude, we just went over all the 35s that have all smashed again. So some of you guys, I don't know, got to clean out the wax, stop calling in against 35 Thursday. All you guys denying the gematria, got to pull your heads out of your ass. Again, this is the knowledge to see through what's going on every day. Rigged news, rigged sports, rigged elections, Hollywood, Kabbalah code all over every movie. And you guys got to smarten up to this shill network that's rising up using the knowledge I'm putting out, but then putting this crazy spin on it. You know, recommended whack gematria channels, telling people the only cipher that matters is Chaldean. You hear anyone say anything like this? Just turn them off. Remember, nobody in this world outside of Jewish rabbis was talking about gematria before I started doing this a decade ago. All kinds of shills have crawled out of the woodwork, and they're here to mislead people. They're like, this guy, he's got some gematria guest on tonight, and again, he's one of these tribal members from the Saturday Club, but he's got some guy in there telling people that the only cipher that matters is Chaldean. It's just like, oh, yeah. Yeah, try using Chaldean in the NFL and see how you do with your player props. It's not going to happen. It's not to say that cipher's not important. And I wrote a book in 2017 showing where these ciphers have relevance. But, Thursday's 26 in Chaldean and 37 in Septenary. And it's not to say those numbers don't matter. But, again, every week the ritual's clearly 35. So, again, a lot of crackpot channels with no credibility, no track record, and just trying to spin facts. If you hear anybody say, just turn off the channel. Just go the other direction. They're not putting out a real message. They're putting out the controlled opposition message. So, Chargers finally scored some points. They're going to need to come back like the Jags had them last year in the playoffs. Remember that crazy Jaguars playoff against the Chargers? Got paid for anyone who took the Jaguars at halftime because we were very confident the Jaguars were going to win that game against the Chargers. I still remember Tony Dungy calling the game, and at halftime, Jaguars were down 1,000,000 points. He's like, I think they're going to come back and win this one. It's like, really? Okay, I hope so, because the numbers say they will, and sure enough. But, shout out to Open Up. I know he's using the knowledge. Trey Tucker. That's what it is. It was in his name, Gematria. Yeah, Trey Tucker. 59. It's 59 days before the Super Bowl in the Super Bowl Stadium. Trey Tucker, 40 like TNF. Nice. Yeah. I did overlook the Trey Tucker nice night. Room for improvement. I guess I got to... We've seen before that the name gematria of these guys definitely can matter on 35 Thursday. He's got 59 yards right now too, huh? Oh, man. Couldn't have scripted it any better. Devontae Adams, he got that 100th touchdown tonight. We knew Devontae had a shot at a touchdown. He did burn me earlier this year on some player props, but he got his 100th touchdown. That's not normally the Thursday number we call. There's been some 116s, but 35 is the number that smashes over and over on Thursday. And again, these are the base ciphers, just like Manly P. Hall wrote about. Anyone telling you Chaldean's the cipher, Septenary's the cipher, they're off their rocker. Learn these ciphers. Those other ciphers are worth studying, but this is where the riddles are day in and day out, just as we expose. Mainstream media, sports, elections. Again, Catholic 46, paganism 46, religion 46, Sol Invictus 46. Sol Invictus, the celebration began 46 years before the Catholic Church said the same day was the birthday of Jesus. In these ciphers, these rituals all throughout history. So, oh boy. Yeah, it's annoying watching these like troll controlled opposition channels just crawl out of nowhere and then copy my work and not give credit and mislead people. And in the age where I can't keep a channel up and the channel can't grow, they got like 100,000 subs. It's like, how's this even possible? Tell you this much, it pays to be Jewish on the tube. So, but nice work, Open Up. And your boy says they celebrated the first ever all African American officiating crew today. 42. I did not know that. God, how sick, man. 42-0 at the half with the first all black. Again, if you're new here, 42 in Black history. Jackie 42. Look up Moses Walker, actually the first black baseball player in white major league, played in 42 games. Think of nicknames like Martin, given to Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, both 42s, Muhammad Ali, none of these are their birth names, right? All 42. Tuskegee, think about that experiment, the Tuskegee Airmen. Think about the word slavery. If you read what Lincoln said, he blamed the Civil War on the Jesuits, and he said they were the biggest pushers of slavery in America, the Jesuit cabal. And Georgetown actually apologized for this the other year. Georgetown equals 42 like Jesuit, and paid reparations. And then you got Gavin Newsom, the Jesuit, baiting California with an idea of reparations. Again, these people, the terrible history they've created, they use to constantly manipulate people and keep people divided. That's how this gang rolls. And then they, pacify you with their rig sports game that they got all scripted up. But yeah, again, these are the ciphers to know. So, Easton Stick. When I saw that guy's name, here, let me show you why Easton Stick is starting today for the Chargers, and why George McGinnis basketball player that went to George Washington's dead on the anniversary of George Washington's death. Again, today, December 14th. We always talk about how connected this day is to 187. Look at this Easton stick. Like his dad must have really liked baseball. A baseball bat's known as a stick, and Easton's a classic brand of baseball bat. But Easton stick went to the Jesuit prep school, Creighton Prep. Remember the ritual they did last year with the death of the Creighton basketball player, and then Creighton was the last surviving team in March Madness? Don't forget the ritual they did with Connecticut in the tournament. But his name is Easton Michael Stick. Check this out. Easton Michael Stick. You see how it's 187 in the most simple cipher? Look at George Washington. Again, today's his death anniversary, 187, right? And then George is dead. George McInnes, who went to George Washington High School, right? But today, December 14th, 187. And if you even write out 1214, it's also 187. And if you write out Washington, D.C., named after George Washington, it's 187. And if you write out Society of Jesus, because that's the Jesuits, and they've been in D.C. for longer than the federal government, Society of Jesus is 187. And if you write out ancient and accepted Scottish rite of Freemasonry with an ampersand like how they do on the temple, it is also 187. And again, the Scottish Rite HQ's in Washington, D.C., and George Washington was a Freemason, and modern Freemasonry is created by the Jesuits, and they serve the Holy Roman Empire, which is another big 187. And then Skull and Bones is part of this network, and their alias is the Brotherhood of Death, 187, and that's why George W. Bush, who's in that gang, his birthday's the 187th day of the year. And you see how Bush's birthday, the 187th day of the year, that's also the day leaving 178 days remaining. Kabbalah equals 178. This whole thing of Gematria comes from Kabbalah, which is based in the Tree of Life, which has 3 pillars and 22 paths. Like Skull and Bones or Brotherhood of Death, known as Order 322. And just for the record, the 202nd minute of the day is 3:22 in the morning. And D.C., the federal city, George Washington City, it's the 202 area code. And then you might recall when the Georgia Guidestones fell down on George W. Bush's 76th birthday on 7/6, it was the 202nd day of the Pope's age. You could also say it was 201 days after the Pope's birthday. Just like how the movie The Skulls with Paul Walker came out 201 days after his birthday or his 202nd day of his age, and he gets a red Porsche in that movie, and then he died in a red Porsche on November 30th, 11 plus 30, 41, and then 5 years to the day later, number 41 of Skull and Bones died, and his birthday is June 12th, the day leaving 202 days left in the year. And Skull and Bones is also 149, which is the 35th prime, going back to Catholic is 35, like Thursday. JFK was born on the 149th day of the year, number 35, killed at age 46. Catholic 35 and 46, like Thursday. It all being synced up with the Pope tonight. Now I get the 42-0 tribute at halftime. I was honestly wondering why they went above 35-0. I was like, oh, obviously I'm missing something if they're going 42-0 tonight. First all-black ref crew in NFL history. And they're playing, the Raiders are at home, right? Who are known for wearing the silver and black. Well, this says right here, on November 23rd, 2020, referee Jerome Boger and his crew became the first all-black crew when they officiated the Monday night game between the Los Angeles Rams and Tampa Bay Bucks. So are we, that stat about 40, is it something else? Is it on Thursday night football? Because that doesn't look quite right. But if that's not it, I'm sure there's a reason they went all 42 tonight. See, here's what they're saying tonight. When Ron Torbert and his crew take the field Thursday, that's tonight, they'll make NFL history. For the first time, an all-black on-field and replay crew. So the addition here is even the replay crew is all black tonight. Will officiate an NFL game. The league announced Thursday. Again, just the whole power outage thing, and then Obama... again, the Chargers, and this is happening in the stadium, right? And the Super Bowl's on the 42nd day of the year. You guys, something's going on here. Again, Super Bowl 47 was the Blackout Bowl. This year, the Chargers, with the lightning bolt on their helmet, fell to 4-7 versus the Ravens. We know all year they've been killing all these people connected to the Ravens. We know the Super Bowl is on the 95th birthday of the Vatican, and Baltimore's 95, like Stafford just stayed on 95 regular season wins in LA, just losing this past week, the overtime game. But yeah, you got Public Enemy giving you the predictive programming for a power outage. You got Barack Obama, the first black president, in his movie that just debuted on Netflix last Friday. You got this shortly after. Again, I'll remind you. Power outage equals 56. These Sunday games will be 56 days before the Super Bowl. Black Lives Matter 56. Remember, Chuck D and Public Enemy put out the "What You Gonna Do When the Grid Goes Down" album about a blackout from a black hip hop group 56 days after Chuck D's birthday on 25/9, September 25th, the anniversary of JFK's weather control speech. But now again, you got Obama, the winner of the 56th election, putting out this movie about a power outage. You got Blackstreet on the soundtrack for the film. You got Joey Badass, who has a music video with a power outage in it as the opening song. You got a big black oil tanker used for symbolism called the White Lion in the film. The first slave ship that arrived in America in 1619, where that number is brought out in the film, and it relates to Acts 7:6 and Obama, Mr. 76, that we talked about a million times. But yeah, this ritual tonight, again, it's a big one. It is a big one. When was the last time you saw a team up 42-0 at halftime in the NFL? Sounds like a college game, like Alabama versus some scrub school. And it's funny because today is National Alabama Day, now that I think about it, and Josh Jacobs is sitting out to make way for Zamir White of Georgia. Aiden O'Connell, man, with the 231 yards and the 4 touchdowns. My goodness. He came in tonight with 4 career touchdowns, so he doubled his career touchdown total. But yeah, what a thing of beauty. What a thing of beauty. Is there anybody else that wants to chime in on this stream? Is there anything I'm forgetting to say? If anyone would like to join and share some additional information, stay on here for a few more minutes. Maybe you got some observations, something you want to share with the community. But let me get this thing here. All right, in the chat, link to join the stream if you'd like to join. And somebody does join, I'm going to have to switch up the audio settings. But yeah, you guys, I mean, I'm teaching about 35 Thursday every week. I mean, just look at my sports channel, just every time Thursday rolls around. Uh-oh, what do you know? It's 35 Thursday. It's just like, how doesn't the whole world know about this now? How are these goofy you-know-who's who just put out the most trash information, how are they still getting like 100,000 views at this day and age and just put out nothing but trash? We're dropping the dopest information there ever was every week that can pad your pockets. You know, I can't believe that the support's down on Patreon over the last 2 years based on everything we've accomplished. And again, just how helpful this knowledge can be. And again, it's you're patient with this knowledge. Things like Zamir White come up. It's the way to build your bank account. And I call it, you know, getting that rainy day fund, that extra grocery money, that get that car out of the shop money, that get that down payment for a business money, etc. So open ups in the building. Let me switch over the audio setting real quick so they can hear you open up.
Cool.
What's up, man? How you doing?
How are you, man?
You know, I love 35 Thursday, like I said. It's always a fun day, so.
Yeah, man. I mean, if you're gonna hop on this research and you have one day to choose, Thursday would be the day every week. This whole year, every Thursday, has been cooking the books with the props. I mean, today you have options. Look at the scoreboard. A lot of points scored. I think it was great that College Ball doing the Patreon with the extra Zamir White information, kind of locked it in for us. I mean, Devontae Adams, Mayer, Bolden, how many players we're just racking it up. So I just want to encourage people to share this stream, especially for the people, people love sports too much. So you should be sharing this with all your friends that love to go to the games and win some money.
Hold on. I screwed up the audio setting. My bad. Okay, so he's just saying this is a great video to share. Thursday is the day of the week to be patient for. It's a thing of beauty each week. Go ahead. I fixed the audio setting. My fault, everybody.
Yeah, I mean, this is a perfect example of what we've been doing for the whole season. And I've only been on this information. I'm more of a new person compared to others. I've been here probably, I think, like 2 years now, 1.5 year. And I didn't start off the bet. I didn't start off the bet putting money in betting. I was just sitting back and watching. And like I saw how the patterns came up, day after day. And it's not just sports, but politics, news, entertainment, music, everything. And the work speaks for itself every time. And then there comes days like this where we're just cooking like hard. And I mean, you're not going to win every day, but when riddles come up like today, you have chance to pad your pockets.
It's just like I made the point. If you were doing $5, if your budget was $5 for each day to bet, and you were betting 3 times the NFL week for Thursday, Sunday games, and Monday games, through 14 weeks, you would have had 42 bets. And again, we teach how to structure parlays so that a $5 bill can turn into 30, 40, 50, 100, 150, 200. And there's certain things that come up where it becomes relatively a lot easier to multiply your money from like a $5 bill to 150 when you have something like a Zamir White first touchdown prop, Jacoby Myers, 35 Thursday overall for the Raiders win. That's where a parlay can turn a $5 bill into over 100. And if you're selective and patient, really nice rituals come up. And again, if you'd like to bet more than $5 to win 120, again, guys who've built up their bankroll, they're putting 100 down tonight and they're turning it into upwards of $2,000. Again, that is the beauty of this knowledge. And for all you guys who rush in and have one bad week and then quit, that makes you a loser and a moron.
Yep.
Again, take the knowledge, use the knowledge. Like I say, I've always told you guys for free too. Giants in 25 is a number that kills. Ever since this Tommy DeVito's taken over for the Giants 97 days after his 25th birthday, the 25th prime, they have like a 25 lined up every game every week. We've made so much money off the Tommy DeVito games, including this Monday Night Football game, which wasn't even his best upset yet. But again, there's patterns that are very consistent, big winners. You get the value nights. Again, the knowledge is undeniable. And I got like trolls in the world that are uploading. He's like done his 3rd video about what a bad week 11 we have. It's like, what kind of joke is this? We dominated week 11. How are you going to put out your 3rd video in the world about how bad my week 11 was? You got to be a dumbass. Is he going to upload a video about how bad tonight is too when most people have done times 15 their money? I mean, it's a joke. So anyway, I'm glad you're here to open up, and I appreciate that you're generous. It's nice to have a new person in the community who tips. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, like, we learned this information from you. People are winning money. I mean, I only put down small amounts when there's a good ritual that comes up, and I'm able to multiply. And when I multiply, I'm like, damn, I just made some money. I need to tip the guy who taught me how to do this. It only seems logical to me. And on top of that, I want to shout out Itachi. He had some great picks today too. So shout out to him.
But yeah, Itachi's a great sports researcher. Again, Itachi's another person who's come into the community. He's only been here since Kobe died, and he's figured out like some new methods. I mean, he's just like I've always said, you can take this knowledge and expand on it. Itachi's revolutionized using the research in certain ways. He's been the master of the home run prop bet. I don't think it went as well this year as it has in past seasons. But again, he's once upon a time, you guys have to know when it was just me doing this, all the trolls and people say, oh, if this is so true, how come nobody else is doing it? It's like, well, that's because I'm breaking the knowledge to the world for the first time. But here we are a decade later. Now you have like 500 people with Gematria Sports Pick Patreons. So yes, you can learn the knowledge. You can replicate it. You don't just have to listen to me. But if you listen to me, you'll learn the patterns that have hit over and over historically. And that's why we always say 35 Thursday. It's one of the best ones out there.
Yep, exactly. And for the trolls who keep asking, oh, Zach, post where's your slip? Where's your bet? Like, you don't need to post any bet slip. Like, they come
No,
to this.
I don't need to post anything. The
Yeah.
stuff I'm teaching is adding up week after week. I mean, for all of you guys who need to see a betting slip to get on board, that just makes you slow. And again, I mean, I can't help you out if you're slow. Trying to help you speed up and get caught up. But for all you slow ones that just want to continue on the fence and doubting, I don't know how you can possibly doubt. Am I not here every Thursday showing you the latest 35 Thursday ritual? I mean, they're just, this week, they're uppercutting you in the chin with it.
Yep. I just want to cut it there. I could go on, but the work speaks for itself. I just want to say appreciate it. I'm still gonna be here, still supporting, till we finally get this workout like it should be. So appreciate you.
Appreciate it. Open up. You have a good night, man.
You too.
All right, take care. All right, we got another person in the house. Big Money. Big Money.
What's up, What's up, Zach?
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm doing good. No, I just wanted to echo the last caller. From the Monday night games when Frank Wycheck died, you had put a video out right before explaining how everything connected in line to tonight's Titans possibly covering and even money line. And
well, I had it right on the screen in the free video of why if the Titans upset that night as 14-point underdogs, what it would line up for them in the Saturnalia ritual when the biggest moon of Saturn is Titan. And every year they're doing the big Saturnalia stuff. So, yeah, Monday was another smash night.
And it was hilarious because I remember before the game, I did one simple bet that night. I did Giants money line and Titans money line. I ended up coming out with like $400 off that. And it was hilarious. And everyone was in my group chat like, "Oh man, how did the Dolphins blow that game?" And I was laughing and I said, "You need to join this guy's channel." I've been trying to get people to tell them this is all rigged. It's all by the numbers. The Jesuits, they control these leagues. There's so many players from Jesuit colleges, there's owners from Jesuit colleges, general managers from Jesuit colleges, and they're literally going off, they're being told what to do. They're following orders. And you constantly explain this through your work on a weekly basis. It's literally all you have to do is read the notes, take the information for what it is, and you just put a small wager. Now that was like a big one for me, like $20, and I ended up coming out a big. But this is like exactly what you're saying constantly every single day for every single news event, even.
Right. I just always try to teach people how to be smarter and more aware of the world. And again, the knowledge I teach with gambling, I don't see that it's bad or destructive at all. I teach you how to be responsible and make smart bets that will put you ahead, especially if you stick with it and without breaking the bank and without putting you in some desperate bad situation, to keep it fun and lucrative at the same time. And that's the way I've always taught it. And just my trolls, my detractors, I always put out the most bullshit videos. And it's like, no, there's no one in this community with a brain who's been around for a long time who's down. Everybody who's, and that's why there's people that have been here forever. But go ahead.
No. And what's funny? I actually looked ahead to one of the Saturday games, the Vikings, and you had talked about today how the quarterback for the Chargers, because Herbert was out, they made a change. There's a Jesuit guy. And
He's sick. Yeah.
Yeah. And then no. So listen to this. The Vikings actually they demoted Josh Dobbs. They're starting Nick Mullins on Saturday. And Nick Mullins, his full name in the
he cut out. He was saying Nick Mullins' full name when he cut out. Here, let's look real quick.
The 87.
Oh, Nick Mullins, who's starting, has the 87, and he's playing on the Pope's birthday.
Well, he's playing on Saturday, but
that's it. Nicholas Clayton Mullins, 87, subbed in for the Pope's 87th birthday. Yeah.
The game's on Saturday, but I don't know. Like it's.
Well, sure, but it's still that Saturnalia weekend or the day before. And again, just like how 87 was a theme with tonight's game, which we saw.
Yeah, and the other thing too is Justin Jefferson. His full name in the Gematria calculator, I believe, has Isis Hominum Salvator as well. So I'm thinking that he may be due for a touchdown. I don't think he scored last. No, they didn't score last. It was a 3-0 game. So I think he might be due this weekend.
Okay.
It's Joshua Jefferson, I think, and he's got the 122. Um, so yeah, it's just crazy, like how you just explained all of this earlier, for tonight's game, and how like the Pope is, connected and all this stuff, and it's just like, and it's Saturnalia on Sunday, so it's just like, there's gonna be a lot of things that hit, and if people join this stuff, it's only $11. You're gonna get all the info you need,
Well,
and
exactly.
you can.
For the live streams, for the live stream tier, it's $11. To get all the written content, it's $5. And again, last year on Saturnalia, a lot of people had tickets for like $5, $10 parlays that ended up paying over $500 because we hit so many upsets in college basketball that were all Saturn numbers, and they were mostly all Jesuit schools. And some big underdogs that were Jesuit schools that day could become 9-3 on Saturnalia. And again, you want to know the Saturn numbers on Saturnalia, but last year 93 went nuts. Remember, the first game of the day in the NFL last year on Saturnalia was in the 93 city, Minneapolis, Minnesota, which is 93 on the 93rd meridian. It was the craziest game in NFL history. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this weekend. Last year, every year I like Saturnalia, but last year was one of the best ever. So,
Like on
oh, he's cutting out again.
all the Vikings have a quarterback change. I'm just like, you've got to be kidding me. This is like got to be one sick joke. Like how we were just talking about this, and then the Vikings are on the same timeline. It's unbelievable.
Sure. And just remind you guys about one other thing about the Vikings, since they got them going on Saturday on this Saturnalia weekend again. Minnesota Vikings are the only team in the league that equals 2-1. The only city in America is Indianapolis, which is 2-1 as well. But the only full team name that's 2-1 is Minnesota Vikings. And again, look at Saturn worship, 2-1. Look at Saturnian order, 2-1. Look at sacrifice to Saturn. Again, that's what they used to do for Saturnalia in Roman times, sacrifice. But that's also Pope Francis's birthday, the first Jesuit Pope, the 201 gang, and the first Pope to live in Suite 201. Just think about that. The first Jesuit Pope, born on Saturnalia, all this 201 stuff year after year. These death rituals with 201 sync with the Pope, like Joe Biden's son, dead at 46, 201 days before the Pope's birthday. And then Joe Biden becomes number 46, exactly 46 weeks after the Pope's birthday in the rigged election. Again, it's bigger than football. So, anything else, Big Money? His connection's cutting out, so I can't hear him right now. If you guys want to join, I'll put the link in one more time. But
Can you hear me, Zach?
You're back now. Now I hear you. Well, he was back, but I lost him again. Yeah, Minneapolis is super Catholic. The Twin Cities, St. Paul.
Can you hear me, Zach?
Yeah, what's up, man? I hear you.
Oh, no, I was saying for the college games, I didn't look into it deeply yet, but I saw Seattle is playing Washington on Sunday, and then Santa Clara is playing on Saturday. Those were the two big Jesuit schools that I saw. I didn't see much else. Seton Hall is a Roman Catholic
remember,
school.
it goes beyond December 17th. Saturnalia goes to the 23rd. So just look through that whole block and just watch for the Saturn numbers, especially 93 in that period of time.
Okay. Yeah, no. I mean, I didn't do too much digging yet, but yeah, those were the two I noticed on the calendar. But yeah, no, it like I said, I've been here since the Damar Hamlin incident. Like again, I'm a fairly new person as well here, but when I first saw that on live TV, I still remember that night. I was like, man, this doesn't look real at all. Something is totally off. And then I searched YouTube actually. I was like, let's see if other people are talking, and I found your channel courtesy that night, and I was like, okay, at least someone understands like where I'm coming from on this, because it made no sense that night what happened. And then I learned your notes for the Super Bowl that year with the Chiefs winning, and I'm just like, man, this is just unbelievable. Like I always knew this shit was unbelievably scripted and rigged because they have all these fake storylines, but Nah, when people read your notes, they watch your YouTube channel, all the videos you do for current events, they'll understand, and it makes more sense, uh, like, as I keep learning and reading this stuff.
Well, hey, welcome to the work. You've been here for almost a year then, so awesome.
Yep, and that calculator has been doing me wonders. I plug in for fun, I just plug in every single name that's just promoted on the TV and just who and what's being talked about. And I'm just like, yep, it's all Jesuit related. It's almost unbelievable to the point where I'm just like, what a joke this all is.
It is. And again, that's why I wish more people would investigate what I'm saying. For anyone who's out there that thinks this is all bullshit, actually take time to look into what I'm saying, and you'll see it's definitely not bullshit. And I'm definitely exposing exactly what's going on. For all you guys who can't wrap your mind around it, you might want to look up that word goyim, and you might want to think twice about it next time you go into 7-Eleven, which was a name created with Jewish gematria. Look up the history of it. That's a fact. And then think about the goyim food products they're selling you, which is all trash for your body. And again, I think that's the real problem with the majority of Americans. You guys put shit in your mouth, so you fill your body with shit, literally. Your body's constantly full of shit from the time you eat your trash breakfast to your trash lunch to your trash dinner. So your mind's not functioning right, and you can't make, 1 + 1 is 2. That's the whole. I'm pretty sure that's the whole problem in America. And I've been observing it since I was 18 years old. I've always eaten better. I've always thought outside of the box, and I've just been wondering what's wrong with my fellow man for my whole life. How come you guys can't see the obvious? How come you guys believe all the bullshitters and people who lie to you every day and mock you, from the elections to the rigged games? How come you can't see through it? It's all so obvious. It's your problem. So anyway.
Yeah. But no, that was it. I'll wrap it up.
Yeah, go ahead, Big Money.
No, yeah. I mean, just in general, like I did it on your TFR as well. I had explained that even some of these like old events, just historical events, like I looked up the OJ case, the Challenger explosion, and even some of these school shootings. I just put the names in the calculator of all the victims, and it's all, Catholic Church, Jesuits. It's so crazy to me, and I'm just like, yo, like you really start to wonder,
I guess I got to tell everybody about what we're talking about. I got to cut to this point because when the Raiders just scored the 56th point of the game, it matters who scored this touchdown. You guys look at who scored the 56 points on the defensive touchdown. Number 95. Remember, the Super Bowl's on the 95th day of the year in this stadium. And the 95 Super Bowl, the Chargers got wasted by the 49ers, who lost to the Ravens in the blackout Super Bowl. You see how this is all coming together? Number 95 scores the 56 points when power outage is 56. And we're talking about how Obama, who won the 56th election, just put out the movie about the power outage, and it's all synced up with 56-year-old Julia Roberts and Matthew Perry's death, and how the episode that they're in is called The One After the Super Bowl. Again, you guys, this is a major league script, and this is telling you about the plans they got. It might not be the day of the Super Bowl, but it also might not be long after. Carlson scores the touchdown for the 56 points. Let's get his jersey number up here for Daniel Carlson. Wait a minute. Somebody in the chat said number 95 scored it. I'm not seeing that. No, that's not. Oh, hold on. My bad. It's not Daniel Carlson. He's the kicker. Who scored the touchdown? Jay Jenkins. Hold up. The kicker for the Raiders is born in 95. Let's see. John Jenkins, number 95 for the Raiders. Damn, 156 days after his birthday, too. That's crazy. 9/11's the 156th prime. He's 34 years old. They said that blackout in Super Bowl 47 was 34 minutes. Maryland equals 34. Of course, the Ravens won both their Super Bowls with 34 points. The word black is also 34, just going with the power outage in the Raiders jersey colors. He was drafted by the Saints. Where was Super Bowl 47, the Blackout Bowl? It was in New Orleans. He was drafted in 2013. That's the year of the Niners. That's the Niners Ravens Blackout Bowl, 2013. The same year Janet Napolitano at age 56 stepped down from the Department of Homeland Security and said the next 9/11's not if but when. And it's the power grid going down. Back when Obama was president. Again, go back and check that with Janet Napolitano. She was 56 years old. I can't believe they got a dude wearing 95 in the same year as the Blackout Bull, drafted by the Saints, scoring the 56 points. Amazing. Amazing. We lost big money. We got another guy. Carlos, what's up, Carlos?
So, hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, how you doing?
I was doing great. Hey, Zach, I've been watching your content for a long time. You used to have a bunch of channels; they all got deleted.
Yeah, there's been a lot.
Yeah, let me just say two things. One of them was the first thing that kind of turned me to your work was this movie. You know the movie Pi, like 3.14.
Yeah,
you know, like it's a movie. There's a scene on where the main character is talking to some Hebrew Jewish guy.
About Gematria. Yeah, I talk about that in my first book. I have that whole scene in my first book, and I point out how what's funny about that scene is every value he gives for a word is actually false. Every numerical value he gives is actually false, but they're talking about Gematria. And again, it's funny because the one guy's trying to figure out the numerical pattern to the market because he knows it's there. Yeah. And again, you gain this knowledge, you can take advantage of the market too.
Yeah, the stock market. Yeah, he's all into the stock market. They're looking for the code to crack it. And then the government is kind of looking for him too, and the religious people are looking for him too, and everybody's just going crazy. You know what I mean? It's funny. But yeah, that, and then I just felt like as you kind of went along, everybody started falling out. You know, it was just kind of interesting. Like you've been doing some good work, especially with all those numbers, and just like kind of like pointing out the rituals that go along with it. But yeah, I'm not much of a football person, you know, or sports. But I think I might start. I might start because it's fun to see, like, if you sit back and you just see like the numbers and the patterns, it becomes repetitive.
It's super repetitive. I mean, I'm here every single Thursday, every NFL season, just pointing out the 35 Thursday rituals. And then some weekends I'm going to get bored. I'm like, oh, I won't make the video and see who's paying attention.
So, all right. Okay. That's all I wanted to say. It's a pleasure talking to you. All right. I'll talk to you another time.
Thank you, Carlos. You have a good night.
You too. Bye.
I mean, seriously, guys, don't you think that's a trip that the Super Bowl's on the 95th birthday of the Vatican? We've been talking about this all year. And the parallel, it's on 2/11, February 11th. That's the Vatican's birthday. 2/11's the 47th prime. Vatican equals 47. But again, Super Bowl 47 was in 2013 in New Orleans. And this guy tonight in the Super Bowl stadium. Here, I'll tell you what else is crazy. Here's what else is crazy about Matthew Perry and Julia Roberts. Again, they're part of this new Obama movie because Julia Roberts stars, who just turned 56 yeyears old. The movie premiered 3 days before her 56th birthday. Her birthday was the day Matthew Perry died. They dated in 96, like how in this new movie by Obama, one of the main actresses has a 96 tattooed on her shoulder. I looked it up. She's born in 96, so it figures. But if you look up the day of the episode of Friends with Julia Roberts and Matthew Perry, it's January 28th, 96. And that was the day of the Super Bowl. And you know what the Super Bowl was that day? The Cowboys beat the Steelers. Cowboys beat the Steelers. Why does that Super Bowl matter in light of right now at this moment in history? It's because there's a movie that came out in 1977 called Black Sunday, where a Palestinian terrorist group attacks the Super Bowl. Think about that with right now with Israel and Palestine and terrorism. Remember 9/11, Patriot Act, Patriots. But again, Black Sunday, which came out 46 years ago. We're in the time of number 46, right? It's the Steelers versus the Cowboys. And in that Super Bowl, in the movie, they call it Super Bowl X. Now, as we know, X is the 24th letter of the English alphabet. So we got the Super Bowl coming up in 2024. We got this ritual going on with, you know, the president putting out a movie about a prediction for a power outage coming. Read the post I put up earlier, but I'm going to die if this game finishes on, oh, they've already gone past it. Okay, that's good. I'm glad it went past 56, but it did go through 56. 63 is interesting because that Obama movie just officially released in theaters on November 22nd, the JFK assassination in 63. And again, that movie ends with Commodus up on the wall, who was the Roman politician who got assassinated at the end of Rome's golden era. Raiders are up 56 right now. I guess that's the other way to pay attention. Do we finish with a 56-point discrepancy with the Chargers, the power outage team? You remember John Gruden? John Gruden got in trouble and got kicked out of the Raiders in a big 56 ritual shortly after that game, which was on delay against the Chargers, supposedly because of lightning strikes. Go back and look at that too. All right, but if we don't have anybody else who wants to join, we can wrap it up there. I got out all I wanted to and more. One more opportunity to join the stream before we wrap this thing up. So, Cypress Hill has an album titled Black Sunday. Don't forget the Loonies, who did the song 5 on It. They got that song from a long, long time ago about the Raiders going to Vegas, like more than a decade before it happened. It's like, how did they know? Who told the Loonies the Raiders were going to Vegas all those years ago? All right, call in. Then the link to join is up on the. I'll put it up there one more time. Vatican, Louisiana. That's a spot, huh? That reminds me of the ritual they did with Joe Burrow the day he transferred from Ohio State to LSU. Billy Cannon died on the anniversary of Ignatius Loyola being shot with a cannonball. And this year, on that same day, May 20th, Donald Trump, Jesuit educator, is going to be in court with Judge Eileen Cannon. Jesuit jokes from the football field to the Oval Office. Hold on. We got somebody calling in. 210.
What's going on, Zach?
Yeah, what's up?
Well, I just wanted to say thank you, sir. 35 Thursday did it again. Helping us out with some bills down here in San Antonio.
Hey, congrats, man. I'm glad to hear it.
I wish we could give you a little bit of a tip. Money's a little tight down here. But
no. You again, like I always say, all of you guys who support the Patreon, you're doing enough. Tips are nice, but definitely not necessary. I'm glad you're paying the bills.
Also, too, we caught you on TFR yesterday, and everybody was talking about that new movie. And we noticed in that movie the part where they go to the neighbor's house to get the medicine. You got Kevin Bacon there wearing that old Dallas Cowboys hat.
Right.
And just behind him, above his front door, is a horseshoe. And if I remember correctly, weren't the Baltimore Ravens the Colts at one time?
They were the Baltimore Colts, and then they moved to Indianapolis. The Cleveland Browns became the Baltimore Ravens. But, yeah, the original Baltimore team was the Colts, and they've been doing some big rituals with the Colts this year, too.
Yeah, so we're kind of thinking maybe you got a little Ravens, Cowboys, Super Bowl little hint in there somewhere.
Again, Usher was born in Dallas. Again, somebody last night in the chat was trying to argue that again, so I put it right up on the screen. Usher was born in Dallas. Usher is the halftime performer. Again, right after they announced that, Netflix put out the show The Fall of the House of Usher, which has to do with Edgar Allan Poe, who wrote The Raven, which the Ravens are named after. And then that movie they put, it's just, and remember that all that, the same day the war began in Israel is the same day as the death anniversary of Edgar Allan Poe. And this year it was the 174th death anniversary of Edgar Allan Poe. And look at this, you guys, for those of you who didn't know this, Baltimore Ravens in Gematria equals 174. Edgar Allan Poe died October 7th. The next day, the Steelers beat the Ravens, and Tomlin got his 174th career win, and Kenny Pickett became 10-7 as a starter, just like how Edgar Allan Poe's death anniversary is 10-7. But it is interesting, all these events happening. And again, that was a ritual between the Ravens and Steelers. And you're just bringing up the Cowboys and Kevin Bacon's hat in the movie about the blackout that Obama just put out. But Steelers Cowboys is the Super Bowl in Black Sunday about the terrorist attack on the big Super Bowl game. And then again, the Super Bowl actually was Steelers and Cowboys the day of Julia Roberts and Matthew Perry's episode, which is alluded to in this new Obama film. So,
yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Yeah, we also saw tonight, it was crazy too. Mavericks, Luka Doncic, he stayed on 35 points today on 35 Thursday. He didn't even score in the fourth quarter. He got 35 into the third quarter. Didn't even score one time in the fourth.
Isn't it hilarious, man?
35 points.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So it works. All those haters and trolls that keep calling you and talking all that shit, they don't know what's going on, man. They're just a bunch of...
No, they do know what's going on. They just announced the truth. And that's why they troll, and they're paid to troll. So they're just trying to invert the truth.
Their mom's basements using that free Wi-Fi.
Right. Indeed.
So, but we appreciate you, man. You hit for us again. We really needed it right now. So thank you, man. We really appreciate it.
All right, man. Congrats. You have a good night.
Thank you.
Yeah, take care.
Later.
Hold on. I think maybe Carlos wanted to come back on. Carlos, did you want to come back on?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I meant to take it off. But once again, it's a pleasure talking to you, Zach.
Okay. All right. Thanks again, Carlos. You have a good night.
You too. Have a good night.
Later. Okay. 63-14. We got 77 points. The over-under for this game was originally 33. When it was there, I was like, oh, 35 Thursday could hit for the over again. But then it bumped all the way up to 35.5 by game time. 77 points. Victor says Doncic ended up scoring 4 more to get 39. Okay, but he had 35 at the end of the third. Yeah, of course haters are jealous. That's the whole problem with this world, man. I don't know if you guys saw that, but when Charlie Munger died, they kept showing his quote all over the news about how he said what he discovered about the world is that, like, the thing that's ruling humanity is envy and jealousy. He said it's just so obvious. He's like, doesn't everyone realize that, like, quality of life and life expectancy is way up, but then instead of, like, appreciating that, people are just always finding a reason to be down and hate on the next person. They kept playing that clip over and over, and I was like, well, that is true, man. People just, I've been dealing with haters my whole life, man. And all I've been trying to do is help people out. That's true. 10 more points for 87. If they score 87 for the first opening game where the Sunday games are on the Pope's 87th birthday, woo! Man, we know what number we're really dialed into for this weekend. Yeah, exactly. Indeed. What's up, Truth Does Not Exist?
Hey, man, what's up? So there was something that I missed yesterday, a detail about the movie. It was kind of like some symbolism. I was getting into the how at the end the teenager that loses his teeth, that he has the primitive hoodie when he's at the house to get the medication. I was going to talk about the numbers of it, but I completely missed.
Here, rather than the numbers, for anyone who has not watched the movie, the brother and sister, when they find this wooden shed outside the house, there's a scene. He's like, "Oh, who do you think was laying down there?" Because there's an imprint in the leaves. Mm-hmm. Notice when he turns, you can see his sweatpants have the Masonic checkerboard stripe down the side, and then his sister standing there with the NASA T-shirt, just like how every astronaut to go to space has been a Freemason. Again, the whole movie's ripe with symbolism, like every single scene, if you're paying attention.
Yeah.
And that's why I say I bet we could watch that movie 1,000,000 times and just pick up more and more each time. It's crazy how laced it is, but...
Yeah, I'm definitely going to watch it again. The thing I noticed is that with the symbolism of, like, the primitive, like, throughout the movie, like, you know, he was, like, being creepy and, like, you know, he was like taking pictures of the girl and then masturbating to them. Like that they showed that in the movie. And then he was, you know, like I think in the cabin, remember, like he hit his little sister in the head, and like he was being mean to her and stuff. And like, so they're like showing a lot of that. And then, like, you know, he loses his teeth. So, and it's kind of like, you know, you think like a caveman, you know, they don't have any electricity. And then, you know, he has the primitive hoodie, like, you know, because he's acting like, you know, primitive, like, you know, he's kind of acting like a caveman, and then he loses his teeth like a caveman. And that was I think that was a piece that I missed. And I think that's kind of like what they're trying to say about, like, people now and maybe like the current generation, is that they're trying to make them primitive. You know what I'm saying? They just want people like at the basic, like low level functioning, at the just functioning like at the lowest level, with the food and with everything. They're just, trying to keep people down.
Where they got everybody. So
yeah, exactly. And also something else that I didn't get into yesterday with the Teslas driving into the thing, and you were talking about that you have a big thing of Teslas over there. All Teslas are connected to a central network to Tesla Incorporated. Like they have a main supercomputer, and the Teslas have cameras all around them, and they get live feed, and they go all directly to Tesla. And like you could just look this up. This isn't speculation. And some of the other companies like Ford and stuff, they just they made patents. Ford patented a future. You can look it up that they want their self-driving cars to repossess themselves. So basically, wherever they are, they just go. If the person doesn't pay for it, then the car just drives itself to the dealer. But they showed in the movie. I mean, obviously, this could be abused in that way that everybody's car, all these cars just go and all drive to this location because they're all connected to the internet. All these cars are all connected. They have like their own internet. They have their own internet connection, and I think it's over the cellular network. But you don't really control that. Like it's just its own independent thing. And they also have a mesh network of Amazon has like the largest mesh network with all of its devices, the Alexas, the Ring cameras, whatever. They have their own mesh network that's independent of the internet. And Apple does too. So that's kind of probably what they're doing, is that they want to knock out everything, and then they can make people's cars go and drive and away by themselves. And that was what I missed yesterday. But something else that's a little bit I don't know if I told you this or not, but arsenic, the way that it's put on the periodic table, AS, is 34, like murder. I thought that was pretty interesting. And oh yeah, someone just put in the chat that they recalled all the Teslas. They recalled the Teslas because of 322 fatal flaws in the full self-driving capability. That was in one of the articles that I read. It was 322 issues that caused them. Of course it was.
And here, I want to remind people that this recall, the biggest recall in Tesla history, comes days after Obama's new movie about the nation getting taken down by cyber attackers. And one of the plot points is they hack brand new Teslas and they send them flying to block up roads so that people cannot travel. And again, I just point out how, and where I'm from, Portland, the Clackamas Mall in the suburb for years now has just had an empty parking lot full of Teslas. So now there's like 300, 400, 500 Teslas there. I don't even know. That's huge parking lot full of Teslas. It's been that way for years. And I just wonder if they really do got this plan. But look at how ritualistic the Tesla recall is. It's exactly 24 weeks after Elon Musk's birthday. And again, he's nothing but a puppet, little Jesuit puppet. X, the new company, 24, the Super Bowl coming up in 2024. Him rebranding Twitter as X, the 24th letter, again on the 24th day of July, 24/7, while the country and the Illuminati are 247 years old. And again, look how recall is 24. Recall exactly 24 weeks, the worst ever, right after Obama's new film that shows in the not too distant future this crazy scenario. Again, just another example of how close entertainment news are and how scripted it all is. So I'm sure this recall is something simple. You go in the dealership, they probably plug in something for 5 minutes and you're out of there. But just to create this, you can see that it's nothing but ritual, just like how everything with Elon Musk is nothing but ritual.
Yeah, and what's funny is that they actually had another similar recall before. I think it was like 9 months ago or a year ago, where they had to recall 360,000 Teslas, like IHS 36. So, this isn't even the first time that Tesla does this and this happens. And also, just to remind people, Tesla equals 33. That's also important too. But yeah, they just do the same thing over and over again. And I want to look into more of these technology things, like decode the stuff. I'm probably going to do that on a live stream. I'm going to be doing a live stream soon. But something else I wanted to tell you was maybe you should try and switch up the way that you're titling your YouTube videos. Like maybe kind of like copy these other like fake Jew people, the way that they're copying their the way that they're titling their videos, like in all caps, new satanic agenda. They're trying to take down the power grid.
I hate doing that, but it's just like the other day I put out like 5 short videos, and I did one title in all caps, and it got like 3 times the views as every other one. But every time I make my video in all caps, it does get more views. But I'm like, what is wrong with people? Like I feel obnoxious when I write my title in all caps. And it's true, you make a dumb title, all caps, the first word satanic. It's like I could do that, and you're right.
Yeah.
But it's like what, and the way though, I'm like, okay, so who ends up watching the videos? It's like how you get the dumber people to watch your video. It's just.
I think that it's a way that YouTube. I think it's a way that YouTube promotes the videos, the way that the algorithm promotes it. Like, so when people are watching videos like that, and then there's other videos like that, it just picks it up and like keeps showing that to people. Especially because I think what the reason I think is probably because YouTube is trying to show people dumbed down content. So whenever somebody uses those titles, it's usually a really shitty video. And so they're thinking, oh, another shitty video that's not going to lead people anywhere. Oh yeah, let me show this person this video. So if you title your videos that, maybe you're hacking the algorithm. I think it's stupid too, but I think I'm probably going to start titling my videos the same way as well, just to get things out there.
It is a way to get more viewers, no doubt about it. So.
Did you see some of the stuff I sent you? The email I sent you with the all the covers I made. Or like the things of Kobe?
I have not seen that yet. I need to.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I sent it to the illustrated email, the one for the book covers. I made a bunch of things of Kobe, like on a cross. You could tell me which ones you like, because I didn't polish them. I did like I don't know, like 100 or something like that. So since I did so many, you can just tell me which ones you like, and then I'll fix them up and make them look nice. Yeah, my dad, I also sent stuff that my dad did. He has some nicer stuff. He's really talented. He's a really talented artist. I can draw really well. And I can send you some of the better art pieces that he did. I sent you some of his crappier stuff because I was going to Miami. I was in Miami when I sent that, so I could only get the stuff from his Facebook. But yeah, I'd like to help out with that book cover.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I'll look that up. I appreciate it.
All right. Yeah. Have a good night, Zach.
All right. Take care.
Happy 35 Thursday, everybody.
Indeed. All right. Later, buddy.
All right. See you.
Yeah. A lot of big troll channels. I see the name that's getting mentioned. I think he retired, didn't he? Again? A call for an uprising. Yeah. He always has the all caps titles made for 12-year-olds. If you guys don't know, that guy did retire in 2016. He hadn't been here that long. He retired the day after debating me, but then he came back about a month later with his 2-hour hit piece on me, which was all bullshit made out of his ass. A call for an uprising. Total loser. You want to watch how to smoke somebody in a debate, go find that debate footage. Call for an uprising versus me. It wasn't just him. He had his buddy Jeff C., who's died. R.I.P. to Jeff C., but they both got killed in the debate that night too. So, and they were trying to go up against Gematria. And it's too bad that people like, how are these fraud channels with these irrelevant messages with nothing new? How have they ever been more popular? It doesn't make sense. It's like people just rather listen to trash from some anonymous loser who knows nothing about nothing, hiding behind the camera screen. Yeah, good riddance to Jeff C. Indeed. The day after our Super Bowl 50 prediction landed, which we called in October, why Von Miller would be MVP, why the Broncos would beat the Panthers, why there'd be a Black Panther tribute at halftime. We called it all in October. It lands. The next day, Jeff C's putting out a video about how Gematria is the most bullshit thing in the truth community. It's like, dude, that's probably like the most impressive truth video that's ever been put out, calling the future in the history of YouTube. And we've added a million more since. But, yeah, you got to be a major hack and shill to put out a video like that after what we landed in 2015. Yeah, indeed. Indeed. All right, well, if we don't have anybody else that wants to hop on the stream, We'll leave it there. Congrats to the winners. 35 Thursday continues to pay the bills. And until next time, True Seeker. For the comment about call out I mean, like, why isn't anybody even paying attention? The only people watching his videos are you guys. That's why I'm like, why are you guys like making all this drama about these irrelevant channels that nobody watches? Yeah, the guy does seem like a weirdo, but they're not really having an impact. You guys are like just talking about them all the time. It's like, find something better to do. What about the movie Civil War? I covered it yesterday. Watch, if you guys aren't on GematriaEffectNews 25, watch yesterday's TFR episode. It's one of the better TFRs in a while. But yeah, yesterday. Where to begin? Yesterday, what was viral in the news was the death of Andre Braugher, the actor, who starred in Glory and Class of 61, both movies about the Civil War, which began in 1861. He's dead at 61. He didn't die yesterday, but it was in the news. I caught wind of it yesterday, like a lot of people. It was CNN's front page yesterday. But that news was viral yesterday, 201 days before his upcoming birthday. And then Civil War movies. Then this Civil War trailer comes out by Alex Garland yesterday on the same day, 201 days after Alex Garland's birthday. And then Obama just had the 201 ritual with his movie. Through the Commodus thing, and Commodus was at the time of the Roman Civil War. And then remember, January 6th, 6/1 like 61, we predicted it in advance what was going to happen January 6th, 2021. YouTube took me down for it. We knew how it was all simulated at Jesuit Georgetown, but that January 6th thing was 201 days after the only Confederate statue in D.C. fell, of Albert Pike, June 19th, 2020, a year to the day of Juneteenth holiday. And then the Albert Pike statue came down out of the George Floyd riots when George Perry Floyd's 201, and his death was compared to a de Matriori, which was exactly 201 weeks later on the 201st day of the year, and just so on and so forth. Goes right along with Curb Your Enthusiasm. Larry David announcing today that this is the last season, 201 days from his birthday. Again, you learn these numbers, you understand what these numbers mean and who they're important to. So, hold on. Looks like Truth Does Not Exist wants to say one more thing.
Yeah, one thing, people need to work on their listening skills. People have kept messaging me about the streaming service I talked about yesterday, movies.to. I just wanted to ask you if you could put it up on your screen in your search bar so that way people can look it up. It's movies.to.
YEA?
Yeah, like YEAHMOVIE.to.
Movie or movies, plural?
Movies, plural.
Yeah, movies.to, huh? That's the website to get the free movies?
Yeah, it's all it's all one word.
Okay.
And yeah, I think that they have free sports stuff too. But yeah, I can't believe I haven't watched Inferno. I forgot to watch Inferno, but yeah, I sent you the transcript of that when Google removed that video from 2 years ago. That you asked me if I could like show you what the timestamp what you said. I sent you the whole thing for 2 minutes, and I didn't hear any medical misinformation that they supposedly struck you down for. So
there never is.
Yeah, there never is.
All right, somebody else jumped on here. I'm gonna let one more person on.
Okay, yeah, see you. That's all I had to say. Bye.
Have a good night. For the person who got here late and said, what 35 hit today? All of them. Raiders getting the 35th home win over the Chargers. Our pick for the first touchdown of the night, Zamir White, number 35, with the big odds. First touchdown. We love Jacoby Myers tonight to get a touchdown 35 days after his birthday. 35 Thursday, in effect, big time. One more participant, and then we'll wrap it up. What's up? I don't know how to say your name. Apologies.
Hey, don't worry about it. So, about the Andre Braugher, I like that you pointed out the 201 connection, but it's also the 201 connection from the release of Salt. He played in the movie Salt as a Secretary of Defense.
Oh, Interesting.
Yeah, to his death. There's a 201 connection there as well. And like he kind of even looks like the Secretary of Defense that is in office
Lloyd
right
Austin? Lloyd Austin, right?
now. I believe so. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I think that's his name. Interesting. Good catch.
All right. Have a good night.
All right, take care, man. Mr. Core. But yeah, again, 35 Thursday. Every week we're here talking about the same thing. When's the world going to catch on? Your football game's fixed. It's not a good look for you, really. It's not a good look for all you guys out there who don't think the games are rigged. It really shows a low intellect. And sorry if I'm pissing you off, but these are facts. And to fit in with a society of morons, that's not good for you either. Just because the rest of your peers are morons doesn't mean you should want to be a moron and just fit in with them because it's easier to be a moron like everyone else. You know? Hold on. We got Open Up back. He's got one more thought. What's up, Open Up?
Yeah, last thing. The game will most likely end like this, 84 points. So right before Saturn Elliott weekend, right before the Pope's birthday, got a nice 84 points going into the weekend. That's all I got.
Yeah. The Jesuit Order, 84. Okay. Appreciate it, man.
Peace.
Pope Francis is the first Jesuit pope. His birthday is December 17th, 1936. 12 plus 17 plus 19 plus 36 is 84. Ignatius Loyola, the first superior general of the Jesuits, died 84 days before his birthday, or 84 days from, and he died in the year 1556, Ignatius Loyola as well. And 84, just another huge Jesuit number, big Sunday number. I wonder if there's something about these teams' history in 1984. Let me check that out real quick. Sometimes they're paying tribute to history if you go back and look in. Of course, they played each other in 84. Let's go back and see. Raiders, Chargers head-to-head. Let's see here. First meeting, again, was 1960. November of 1960. Month JFK got elected. 84, they did play on prime time, September 24th. Raiders beat the Chargers 33-30 on Monday Night Football. MNF 33. Beautiful. 84, their Sunday game. Raiders smashed them 44-37. Los Angeles 37. Back then, the Raiders were in LA. The Chargers were in San Diego. It might end up being a difference of 42 points, right? Just like it was 42-0 at halftime. First all-black ref and replay crew in NFL history. 42 all over black history. Super Bowl on the 42nd day of the year. Again, how many black quarterbacks will there be in the Super Bowl on the 42nd day of the year when every NFL Super Bowl won by a black quarterback's been all about 42? Doug Williams, who scored 42 points, had 4 touchdowns in the second quarter. Then Russell Wilson from the 42nd state, Washington. Then Mahomes with 42 pass attempts. Then Mahomes again in Arizona, the 42 state, the last state to recognize MLK Day. Are they stopping the clock with 35 seconds? Is that what they did in the game? They had to stop it at 35 seconds, huh? One last 35 salute. But yeah, here, I'll tell you what. I see one more thing about this difference of 42 and 63 total points. It speaks to the history of racism by the code, right? We've talked about the rituals with racism in 63. They did a ton of them with Bill Cosby. When Bill Cosby was getting dragged through the mud, it was like 63, 63, 63. Racism, 63. Speaking of 42, Huxtable, the Cosby family, the Huxtable family, 42. We went over this whole list earlier. The long 42 list with black history. But you see, Arizona's got that 42 connection. Mahomes got it done as a black quarterback in the first meeting of 2 black quarterbacks in the Super Bowl on Lincoln's birthday, the Civil War president. But last year's Super Bowl in Arizona, remember it was State Farm Arena. Mahomes doing the State Farm ads. It was the 103rd season. State Farm 103. Mahomes, he came into that Super Bowl 10-3 in the playoffs, and he became 11-3. Eagles 113. Scottish, as in the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, he's got that 103, 113. You know, something that's wild is that this again, this whole thing with Julia Roberts and Matthew Perry and Friends and Obama's new movie and the reference to the Friends episode, the one after the Super Bowl. Look at Julia Roberts' character name in the episode, Susie Moss, 104. And now here we are in the 104th NFL season, right? Where they can't stop talking about Taylor Allison Swift, right? The whole Kelsey Swift thing. Yeah, a 42-point win. It's a Black History tribute. It's a Jesuit tribute all the way. A 42-point margin of victory where the Chargers scored 21. Jesuits got that 42-21 and that 84 for the 84 total points. Who run it? 3-6 Mafia. They don't run it. The Jesuits do. But we'll leave it there for now. Congrats to the winners. Another 35 Thursday in the books. All you guys who continue to sit on the sideline, not support what I'm trying to do over here. You're not helping me out. You're not helping yourself out. You're not helping the world out. But I bet anything you're paying the tax man more and more. And that's what's going to continue to happen in this world as long as you continue to do nothing and just wait for the next ball game to come around and not pay attention to what's really going on in the world. Rigged sports games aren't going to save you. Till next time, True Seeker.